I have prevailed.
Okay, that is super annoying how you can't seem to get that notification to go away. That often does seem to be a bit buggy like that. Which it would be nice if they could fix that eventually. Because I hate that. No more freebies from this. Oh. This guy is up again. Apparently Valkyrie is really good against this boss, or like for this season, but I haven't got him built on this account like almost at all. I do have him on my global account though, so I really get to, well, if I manage to be on at the right time for the boss anyway. That's one thing I enjoy about this season mechanic is how sometimes a useless character can become meta or something. Anyway, apparently there's going to be an update, patch update tomorrow. 19. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Until then though, I do have other side quests that I want to finish up. I do have just an odd I don't need.
Stitchy will protect us.
Oh, nice.
Stitchy will protect us.
Body upgraded.
And nearest still needs 3 copies. Where's M+? Unlock.
Diva.
Time for more power, hardhead!
Savor the flickering flame.
Oh no, Kelsey died. That's a bit. She's kinda good at getting herself killed though.
As a witness.
So. Anyway. You need dinner. Mm. I think I want to do this one today. Next, the village should do this. Hello there, Zanie. Oh hey, it's you. What's going on? Judging from the expression on your face, you have something serious to tell me. Do I? I got a letter from Hogan, actually. Oh, from your injured friend? I hope he's recovered from everything he went through. Wait, there's a frown on your face again. Let me guess. The letter has something to do with the village. General Hogan's letter brings good news. He is recovering. Also, the Dwarven Rebellion and the appearance of the assail haven't caused as much chaos as he thought they would. However, the letter mentions a predicament that Brimstone Village now faces. Thorin has taken the initiative and contacted the outside world. They no longer need the village as an intermediary. With the disappearance of Echright, it's no longer possible to forge high-quality weapons as before. Also, the rebellion caused mistrust for those in charge of Brimstone Village. With no value and no trust, there is no meaning in an alliance between the Lightbearer Empire and Brimstone Village. The General has warned that the Empire may once again send a secret envoy to investigate the situation. Another crisis may be on its way. Another envoy of the Empire? Depending on the travel conditions, they could be here in a few months. If we can't give a satisfactory answer to this secret envoy, the village is done for. What's going to happen to everyone? Maybe forced exile or relocation. Yes, scatter everyone to the winds. Force them out of their homes. That will solve the problem. We dwarves love this land. It's been our home for generations. This is a punishment worse than that. Alright, we have to restore the village as fast as we can and show something valuable that will satisfy the envoy. Yes, trust and value. Well, trust is all about loyalty. Eldric's been arrested and the remaining folks can be taught what loyalty means. But without the dragon eggs, without Echright, what does Brimstone Village really have? Let's go to the mine first. Maybe we can find a substitute for the mineral. Why are there only a few people here? And they're all listless and drunk. Get me another drink. Hey, are you a miner here? Why are you drinking at a time like this? Don't bother me. Just get me another drink. What's a miner to do when there's no time? Duh, we drink. We drink, sleep, and drink again. What happened to the vein? Judging from the rock conditions, it doesn't seem to be completely dry. At least, there should be a lot of iron ore. Let's check the vein for ore and see if there's any problem with the mine. Well, the ore vein looks fine to me. I'm guessing, in the past, this place was probably used as a cover for inspectors, and the extent of mining was limited. Just by walking around, I can see exposed iron ore. That guy's probably just lazy and doesn't want to work. Let's go back and ask him. What for? Ask him where the nearest haven is? Come on, that kind of stone sucker is beyond saving. It's still better to ask. You know, you're pretty even-tempered, alright. We'll do it your way. Drinks aren't allowed in the mine, but if you can't do without it, just slip it into one of those empty boxes. Oh, Helter spared. He went through a lot of boxes. Get me another drink. There you go. Ah, that's some good stuff. Alright, Now that you've had something to drink, answer a few questions of ours. It's the middle of the day and you're not working. Instead, you're in this beautiful mine, drinking since morning. What's your problem? You're an alcoholic or something? What? I ain't an alcoholic. I'm just sad. For the accurate. You have no idea, little lass. Have you ever seen a crate up close? It's like a barrel of century-old wine. It's magical. Touching it even makes your soul relax. Compared to that, the iron ore here is like the wine you gave me. No different from old manure. You say it's disgusting, so why are you drinking? It can't be compared to the pain of losing our Echorite. Once you held it in your hands, all other ores are inferior. He's demoralized. There are plenty of miners like him down here. They live for this work, you know, and the Echorite, well, its quality was unmatched. Nothing else comes close. If I didn't know the truth behind it, I would be addicted to it too. Let's keep looking around the mine. Maybe we will discover something else. A blue ore. It's called celestite, right? Let's check it out. What's up? You've been standing there for a while. What do you think about this ore? It's unique to the mine here. I remember seeing ore before I was a child. When I was a child, it left a deep impression in me. But to be honest, all ores look similar. Some may look and feel alike, but have vastly different effects. Aren't you an expert? Mages really are amateurs. Let me set you straight. My expertise lies in mechanical research and development. I only specialize in materials that involve my projects. The rest of these ores and minerals I can only judge based on my instincts as a dwarf and my basic education. Just like iron ore and copper ore, anyone can tell what they are just by looking, right? But I'm no expert when it comes to minerals, so that's about as far as my knowledge goes. Well, I can tell. See, aren't you a mage? Shouldn't you know everything? Anyway, let's find some miners who work with celestite. I don't want to believe everyone is just drowning in their sorrows like that rock knobber over there. Hey, wait! I think someone is calling for help. I forgot my weapon. Help!
Every sword is a witness.
There are wild beasts in the mine. This is crazy. That scared the crap out of me. Thank you, guys. I never expected to get attacked in the mines. Wait, aren't you supposed to be on patrol? Where are your weapons and equipment? My weapon was too heavy, so I left it outside. I mean, I never expected to use it. A few days ago, there were quite a few youngsters coming and going. They might have thought it was an amusement park or something. I never expected it to be this dangerous. The mines are the lifeline of the dwarves. Not being responsible is one thing, but why did they let so many people come in and out? If security was as tight as before, you wouldn't have been able to get in. Well, yeah. You saw Uta, right? There are only a few of us left in the mine. If it weren't for love of ores, we would have left by now. But there are still other ores. Are you talking about the iron ore? Ew, that's worthless. Or are you talking about the celestite? Well, Eldrick had us use it as a cover before. If any outsiders wanted to see Eckrite, we would take them to see the celestite. Truth is, there's not a lot of it, and it doesn't follow the usual patterns of ore distribution. In some spots, you'll find a thick vein, and in others, there's nothing at all. It's unpredictable. This ore is special, no doubt, but we always had Eckrite to focus on, so we never mind it much. Now that there's even less of it, it's hardly worth the effort. So yeah, there's no point. Without Eckrite, Brimstone Village is doomed. The miners are a mess right now. Why don't we go to the village and take a look? The villagers still seem down. It's Gruglings. Let's go help repel them. What's this? Oh, maybe later. First, gotta take care of the Gruglings.
The forest will always protect.
Let's go check if the dwarves are injured. Thank you. You have my gratitude. I'm not very good at fighting. Luckily, you two were here. Thank you. Where are the village guards? The guards who sided with Eldrick in the rebellion have been taken into custody. Some have been screened and released temporarily, but they won't be returning to their posts anytime soon. There's a serious shortage of manpower in both the garrison and the patrol guards. That's why the Gurglings were brazen enough to attack. So, you're the person in charge now? Didn't they investigate you? Yes, I was investigated. I was the overseer of operations Eldrick strongly endorsed, so it was inevitable. But my role was all about operations, which meant I spent every day working overtime. His plans and actions had nothing to do with the production and R&D lines I was in charge of. I was just a smokescreen for all his illegal activities. I had no idea what he was really up to. So, while he was plotting against the Imperial Envoy, I was working overtime. While he was scheming his conspiracy, I was working overtime. And when he was carrying out the rebellion, yep, still working overtime. I had no part in any of it. Funny enough, the days I was under investigation were the first time in 2 years I got to sleep 5 hours a day. Honestly, it felt like a vacation. Walter's beard, even among hard-working dwarves, you seem a cut above the rest. No, not really. I just have a basic sense of responsibility and a strong focus on value for money. It's just how I approach things. I don't like the job, and I hate working overtime, but I hated Eldrick's politicking even more. Be it a dragon or a god, I had no interest in his so-called plans. We always argued and battled it out. Perhaps this is the reason why I'm still here. Since you were against Eldrick and his plans, why didn't you come forward and tell the Imperial Envoy earlier? Or said something about the dragon eggs, I mean the Eckrite. You could have protested at least. Oh, you misunderstood. My opposition has nothing to do with morality or anything like that. As I said before, it's about responsibility and being cost effective. I simply didn't believe it was worth all that effort and useless scheming just to regain some dwarven magic we lost in the past. In this day and age, you can hire a mage or goodly assumed student for as low as a few thousand gold. That's extremely cost effective. What about the Eckrite? Its performance, cost and production efficiency are unparalleled. That's why I knew the truth but couldn't object to it. Don't you see how wrong this is? Exploiting innocent creatures like that. How can you justify it? I don't. Technology is technology. There isn't a right or wrong. Besides, this isn't some new innovation. It's the legacy of an ancient empire that tried for thousands of years. We were just continuing what they started. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't remember how I turn off the notification sound now. Gotta figure that out again. Well, it's because of people like you, obsessed with cold efficiency and technology, that the Ironheart Dominion perished. I've been curious since we started this conversation, but who are you again? Are you a Dwarven envoy sent by the Empire, or a technical consultant of some sort? Since our conversation has somehow ended up here, it won't hurt you to know that I am the great... Zanie draws a deep breath, ready to reveal her true identity to everyone in the vicinity, when suddenly the sound of hurried footsteps cuts through the silence, interrupting her moment. Overseer, Hyla, something's happened. The treasure from Eldric's private stash was stolen. What? What type of treasure did Eldric try to hide? What made him decide to hide it here? Everything has been tossed and turned upside down. Let's look for some clues first. You ignorant Lightbearer minions. Your days of bowing and scraping are coming to an end. We, the Ironheart Saviors, vow to rebuild the ancient kingdom. Vidrar shall once again be revered across the continent. This ancient weapon blueprint holds the key to our bright future. Our mission is to recreate it. Let the cowards quake in fear. Let the brave rejoice in triumph. This marks the beginning of a new era, and we will shape history. The great Ironheart Saviors. What rival is this? A Dwarven revival? Rebuilding our empire? Restore our glory? And this? Weapon blueprints? How could Eldric hide such a thing? Who's he trying to hide it from? How did he get it? Has he shown it to anyone else? Everyone knows it. These are the affairs of our village. Oh, great. Of course, we outsiders are the only ones left in the dark. If you continue to let this go, the village is doomed. That's impossible. Our weapons manufacturing technology is still... You're still talking like you possess accurate quality weapons. Wake up. Without the dragon eggs, your skills are worthless. Dwarves like you are copper a carton in Asperia. The general accompanying redacted sent a letter to warn us that the Empire isn't going to overlook what Eldrick has done. This isn't over yet. You don't contribute anything of value anymore, and now you all can't even show any loyalty? Do you want to drag the whole village into oblivion? These folks aren't rebels, they're just children. Children who don't understand or agree with what the adults are doing. Kids who see adults as heartless, who can't imagine math ever being useful, and who wonder why the world feels so sad. They're just trying to make sense of it all. Guess dwarves don't like math either. Sounds like typical teenagers. What are you looking at me for? I only look like this on the outside. On the inside, I'm older than dirt. Besides, when I was that age, I totally remember being a very obedient child. Maybe. It was a while ago. Most of these children are just finishing their basic courses. And suddenly, they're opposing everything under the sun. Every single day. It's something new. When we had friendly relations, they opposed the Empire. When Eldrick ran things, they opposed him. Now, they oppose anything that can be opposed. So, what about these blueprints that Eldrick left behind? Weapons from the Ironheart Dominion. It's an ancient blueprint obtained during a dragon egg ritual. It's written on old Dwarven runes. We were only able to partially decipher it and determine that it was some kind of weapon. We attempted to reproduce it using the limited information we had, including using Echorite. After testing, I confirmed that the final product didn't meet our expectations. So, we kept it sealed here. You can see everything else is just old documents. In other words, this blueprint and the use of the Ironheart's Dominion's shame were just another one of Eldrick's covers. It has no practical value, and creating a real weapon is impossible. At least we don't have to worry about these kids creating some ancient weapon of mass destruction. But we can't just let these kids do whatever they want. Redacted, how about you check for tracks and see where they went? A lot of footprints. Not just the villagers, but others as well. We should go that way. There seems to be battle cries over there. It's the Groglings.
Don't worry, your delivery's coming up. dance under the starlight.
Victory is ours, my friend.
I kind of want Zanie to be playable, but it seems like they're saving her for later in the season, which might suggest that she might be pretty good once she does get released. That would be cool. Anyway. We're saved, but are they here to arrest us? We don't know anything. That was so scary. I didn't expect Gorglings to be around here. The village is short on manpower right now, so we don't have guards to spare. I explicitly warned you not to go to remote areas and to stay together. We did stay together. Oh, well, good. Alright, stand up and stop looking away. I want to see who I'm dealing with. Nguyen, Sanger, and Palma? Is the three of you? The three youngsters nod nervously, and Palma even lets out a sob, clearly overwhelmed by fear. Hyla stares sternly at the people in front of her. Her brows gradually furrow, then she pauses aside to talk. Is something wrong? What's the story with these three kids? I don't mean to make excuses for them, but based on what I know, these three are considered the most honest and well-behaved of the bunch. Well-behaved enough to get bullied? Yes, I'm glad you understand. I know the kind of kids who wrote that kind of stuff, but I can't pinpoint who did it. They still may be connected to this. Yes, I agree. It feels like this was planned, otherwise we wouldn't have found their footprints. You three, why are you here? Don't you dare hide anything from us. Do you have a secret base nearby or something? Actually, yes. It's not that far away, but... No more excuses. Are you gathering at that abandoned patrol area? We didn't do anything wrong. Take us there now. We'll decide if you did anything wrong. Our camp is over there. Let's go this way. Alright. Can't your short legs run a little bit faster? This is the place. Let's split up. You'll find clues faster that way. These research papers are so childishly written. Empty ideas and no substance. The great research. This research project is the path forward. To revive the ancient kingdom, we must cast aside the corrupted production lines and pick up our hammers and anvils once more. With our skills and passion, we can forge the most perfect creation. Against this backdrop, securing the ancient blueprint is a crucial step in realizing our plan. Legend has it that our ancestors once forged extraordinary weapons from rare materials, all overseen by Helter himself. Our mission now is to study the blueprints and recreate these weapons. The project begins now. A better future. My fellow comrades and friends, we're young, determined and driven. We're the hope of the dwarves, and it's up to us to shape a bright future. Let's strive for a glorious tomorrow, with our hammers and anvils in hand. Revival agenda. Rise, my peers. Spending your whole life as nothing more than a blacksmith for humans. Is that truly what you want? Playing to the whims and fancies of those high and mighty, ugly faces. Do you actually enjoy that? Are you really content with the peanuts humans give you in exchange for your rights, living a life without dignity? Not for us. We've been brainwashed by humans for far too long, forgetting the success and glory we once had. We thrive in the mines and around the lava. It's time to forge our own future with hammers and anvils. Forget about Echrites. Forget about the Lightbearer Empire. Let's rebuild the Ironheart Dominion. From Inna, your most trustworthy leader, companion, and best friend. Compared to these proposals and views, Eldrick seems almost loyal and moderate. We need to compare the writing. Yes, that's right. If this manifesto is seen with Eldrick's writings, the whole thing would look like a serious conspiracy. This village would be doomed. This leader named Inna, Hyla, you said, Hyla, you said she was the chief troublemaker, right? If it's really Inna, then she's more than just a simple troublemaker. She's actually Eldrick's granddaughter, but that's not that important. What is important is how rebellious she's become. Both she and her grandfather each embarked on different paths of rebellion. That's a fact. Listen, she may be a little radical, but that's not a hard problem to fix. If you say so. Inna has always been rebellious. Inna has always been rebellious since she was a very young child. Even Elric was a little afraid of her, though he always kept her close and made sure she didn't do anything too problematic. No matter how rebellious a kid gets, there's no need to be afraid of them. Especially a big guy like Eldrick has nothing to fear unless there was something special about her. Very shrewd of you to notice that. Inna is some kind of prodigy, a genius. She practically grew up in a workshop, tinkering with gears and wrenches, and watching the production line in action. She masters new skills quickly and is willing to take the time to study them in depth. Her designs are daring and innovative. She's also meticulous and cautious when it comes to implementation. I have to admit that when it comes to invention, she has an intuition like no other. Honestly, her research and ideas have steered me in the right direction more than once when I was stuck on a project. I'm almost embarrassed to admit I am inferior to her designs. Radical ideology, technical expertise, and naturally talented. That drawing. She may be able to reproduce it. Yes, I agree. If a prodigy like Inna, she could probably do many things that I couldn't do. Then we can't just leave this problem alone. This camp should just be a temporary gathering place for them. I think these kids know. I think these kids should know where Inna is. We'll never betray our leader. We'll never betray Inna. You're all quite loyal, aren't you? You better believe it. We may not be the smartest bunch, but our hearts are noble. Inna has plans for us, all of us. What's the plan? It's to revive the Ironheart Dominion and restore the glory of our ancient technologies. Inna can do anything. She can accomplish this as well. Sounds amazing. Yes, with Inna by our side, no dream is out of reach. We all have our own jobs too. Does she have other followers? Yes, there are some who have good grades and are smarter than us, but we are the most loyal. We'll never betray Inna. We'll follow her to the end. Seems like you know nothing. You know everything about her plans. Inna made it clear that pulling off this plan won't be easy, and there'll be a ton of hurdles. Everything must be kept under wraps until it's done. The blueprint was being guarded. If she made a move for it, she'll definitely attract attention. So we volunteered to leave a trail and lead the pursuers to this abandoned camp here. Before Inna explained her ideas and plans here, that's when we knew we had to follow her. That's when we knew we had to follow her. So she didn't yell at you for not being able to keep up or not understanding the situation? I mean, what would be the point? Alright, let's face the facts. You're just a diversion she used to keep us busy. You probably don't know anything about her true plan. Do you even know where Inna is now? Do you know where she took the blueprint? It's time to be honest, children. Some people say obedience is a virtue, but you all are following the wrong person down the wrong path. Apologies, Magister. These children know nothing. At this moment, a timid voice suddenly speaks. I know where Inna went. During the last meeting, I hid at the back and overheard my sister talking to her. Your sister Shirin? Oh, that's right. You always followed Inna around. Yes. Shirin and Inna were talking about the laboratory under the mine. It's been cleaned up, and they're thinking about moving in. Inna said that there are a lot of ancient materials and notes worth studying there. She said that great things can start from such a laboratory. That's all I heard. The three young dwarfs trudged back to the village, their spirits low, while Harley's expression remained solemn and unreadable. A laboratory under the mine? How could there be a lab there? Does this have to do with those pointy-eared stone suckers? Zanie, could it be? I guess it's possible. Helter Spirit, I just thought of something. Come with me. I know where the lab is. Under Zanie's guidance, you all rushed to her old laboratory, the urgency in her voice pushing you forward. By the glory of the Ironheart Dominion, outsiders are forbidden to pass. Stop, outsiders. Huh, Inna knew you would come. You hateful conventionalists. I can't believe you let outsiders trample on the sacred land of our people. Have you no pride? Well, logically speaking, this territory actually belongs to the pointy-eared folk. Oh, never mind. Pretend I didn't say anything. Alright. Is Inna in here? I know. How did you find this place anyway? The hope for revival guides us. We will rise above it all. Inna's research has made huge strides, and it's taken our already formidable force to a whole new level of power. Let's show these blood traitors and this outsider what it means to face us. Taste our power. Ha! Look. Glory of the Ironheart Dominion. I'm so wishing it was playable already.
is ours, my friend.
After the battle, we restrained Shireen and Buko and turned our attention to studying the mechanical objects they had summoned. Oh, this is the same one as before. It's actually been repaired. As for the smaller one, it's a replica. Although only the rough outline is copied, the idea is very interesting. What do you mean? If one wants to replicate this big one, you'd have to completely dismantle it first. But the core was destroyed during one of its previous battles. If it's disassembled again, the big one will have to be completely scrapped. Also, there's no guarantee that it's useful for research anymore. But the person who replicated this was aware of this, so they didn't try. It was just repaired, and during the repair phase, some knowledge was acquired. And with that knowledge and a little imagination, the small one was created. Good observation skills with expert technical analysis. Add to that a desire for production and development, and sprinkle in some innovative thinking. Now that's what I call special. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to tell if there was something wrong with the big one. Not to mention the possibility that disassembling it would render it useless. I can't tell just by looking at it. While everyone praises Ina as a prodigy, you must be a genius as well. Despite your youth, you understand these intricate machines so well, and you see her skills with remarkable insight. And this lab. Who are you, young lady? Who am I? The person who made this lab. What? No, really, who are you? Huh? Apologies if I'm being too direct. I assume you must have some connection with the Ironheart Dominion. A descendant? A Dwarven noble from the Empire, perhaps? Look at this lab. Look at this mechanical god. Now look at my face. You should know about Eldric's conspiracy and what he did, right? Yes. However, I studied mechanics, engineering and smiting, but I never really learned much about history. Actually, if I can be honest with you, Eldric is the only dwarves among us who actually study the liberal arts. Let's take a step back. Here, you will see my design documents and my signature. You at least seen the designer's seal, right? I oversee production and design implementation. To avoid getting too worked up over ridiculous designs, I made it a habit not to check the designer's seal. Ah, now I get it. No wonder I couldn't stand those folks who only knew production, engineering, and implementation all those centuries ago. Measure fail, Zanie. Did you just make a joke at my expense? Helter Spade, I don't know if I should laugh, cry, or tear my hair out. Whatever, let's skip this topic. Who am I doesn't matter. Who I am doesn't matter. We need to focus on where we go from here. My labor isn't that simple. There are a lot of materials, tools, and mechanisms left outside. If Ina's skills are as good as she's shown us, there will be traps inside. That I understand. Although I'm just a regular engineer, my own lab is also full of traps and explosives. You dwarves and your technology. In short, we had to be alert and careful. Alright, let's go. Move aside, pointy ears. Inna. What's happening? Apologies. I didn't mean to startle anyone. I used the map Zanie left me to get here. I wanted to contact you here in advance, but I didn't expect that there was someone else here. The girl was saying something about rebuilding the empire or something like that. And then she suddenly attacked me when she saw me. Thank you for subduing her, Indris. So, you must be Inna. You bound my hands and feet, but you will never bind the technologicus... But you will never bind the technological prowess of the dwarves. I've already modified all the traps and mechanisms in here, and I just pressed the switch. If you don't let me go, this whole place will explode. No, Inna. What should we do? She's not one to lie. If she says so, this place will definitely explode. Let's die together in dignity and honor. Huh, that's funny. You're going to try to blow up me and my friends with my materials in my own lab? I want to see if these things really will explode. All of them are diffused? Who are you? And why are you with that rock-nubbing Hyla? Didn't you hear what I just said? You're in my lab, using my materials, reading my notes. Who do you think I am? Ah, I see. You're that traitor Eldric's lackey. What? Huh. Inna didn't study history either. These stone suckers. I can't even find the right words to curse them. Because I'm the same. Alright, let's skip the topic. Inna, Eldric is your grandfather, right? How can you say that? How can you say that about him? Oh, so you're feeling sorry for him, are ya? Well, I don't want a grandfather like that. He'd wag his tail and suck up to the lightbearers while groveling before these pointy-eared snobs. This tunnel, this entire place, is all just for doing the bidding of the assail, right? Eldric was so pathetic. Young lady, you can attack me, but leave Zanie alone. See? The proof is in front of us. You're a traitor who has betrayed the Dwarven race, just like my grandfather. All tall folk should crawl on their knees before us dwarves, but you're working with these dull-witted dirt diggers. This half-twit assail must be a friend of yours. Look at him, holding one of her great Dwarven artifacts like a brainless dolt. Yes, this is the Eclipsion, but... he doesn't even deny it. Your kind has been exploiting us dwarves for generations. And now you've stolen the Ironheart's Dominion's artifact, the very proof of Heltor, our god. The last symbol of our Dwarven spirit has been taken away. You are a traitor to your people. All of you will burn for this. What? Redacted, you know I'm not like that. Be honest, I've always felt that taking possession of the bow made by Heltor was a bit disrespectful to these dwarves. Just a bit, I guess. Yet the Eclipsion has become one with me. We fight as one, and parting ways is impossible. It's a bond that can't be broken. Don't be led astray. The choice was up to Zanie. You're right. This pushy little girl wasn't there, and she doesn't represent the whole of the Dwarven race. In a sharp words leave Zanie and Indris visibly guilty. They look at each other, their expressions tinged with embarrassment. Aren't you all missing the point here? I don't think it's a good time to argue over some relic or the Ironheart Dominion. Remember what we came here for. The weapons build blueprint in us research. Right. So instead of arguing about the ancient past, we need to find out where Inna hid the blueprint and how far she's gone with her research. I won't tell you anything. It will blow up soon, just wait for it. Blueprint? What blueprint? I don't know what you're talking about. You really don't know anything? Like I said, I don't know anything about what you're talking about. You're not going to get anything out of me. Thieves are always tight-lipped. Who are you calling a thief? Eldrick and you all are the thieves. Even if there really was a blueprint from the Ironheart Dominion, it would belong to me anyway. So you do have it. Why are you looking at me like that? Hateful mage. I'm tired of this. You'll never get your hands on the blueprint or my research. We just want the blueprint. Can you even understand the blueprint? Who the heck are you talking to? I'm Inna. I'm the one who's going to revive the Ironheart Dominion. A blueprint as precious as this, from the age of the Ironheart Dominion, will never be surrendered to you. Where's the blueprint? I tore it up. Put it back together if you can. Ooh, fun. Once the blueprint is restored, ancient runes with distinct form and characteristics appear. Paula stares at it, her expression tinged with regret. It's definitely the one I lost. I deciphered a few bits here, but I can't understand the rest. Yeah, I get it. You're a mechanic. You didn't study history or ancient runes. See? It's useless in your hands. Only someone with unparalleled intelligence like myself can understand what's written. Let me tell you simpletons what it says. Through endless skies it hunts its prey, from fiery depths it lights the way. The eclipse shines both night and day. How did you know that, you little runt? Not only do I understand the runes, but I also recognize the seals at the bottom. The Grand Artificer's writ and Helter's decree. Was that the leader of the Ironheart Dominion? Yes. The dwarves of the Dominion did not have such a clear division of flavor back then. Many were generalists and versatile in their work. The Grand Artificer wasn't merely an engineer. This individual was in charge of material and resource allocation, forging, energy supply, blueprint design, land modification, and so much more. Just as the legend says, Helter is a god skilled in all dwarven crafts, perfected to the highest degree. The Grand Artificer was known as Helter's representative on the material plane. Proficient across so many fields. Was there truly such a person? That's incredible. Yes, this was the essence of the Dominion. Now, dwarves study design but neglect material processing. They forge but have no hand in design. We've fallen so far. Well, I'm not going to comment on your point of view. That said, if you're interested in learning more about the Grand Artificer, I know a bit. To my knowledge, this was the last Grand Artificer recorded in the Dominion. He personally named the Eclipsian and wrote this description. There are tons of records about this person and the Eclipsian all over the place. But the ones in my family's documents, those are the juiciest. Super detailed since he's my ancestor. Without those files, no way I could have led Indris and Redacted straight to the Eclipsian in that lost temple. But this blueprint is priceless. It's the final version before submission and production. Even I never laid eyes on an original until now. What did you just say? He's an ancestor of yours? Yes, you little runt. I lived a lot longer than you can imagine, and I read countless records of that age. Of all those living today, perhaps I am the closest witness to the rise and fall of the Dominion you so desire to emulate. With Hyla and Inna utterly dumbfounded, Zanie begins to recount with earnest sincerity the same story she told us in Saltorin. She speaks of the Dominion's arrogance, the change in Halter, and the greed that led to the exploitation of innocent lives. She recounts how the dwarfs lost their humanity and allowed desire to fester like poison within the Dominion, until the dragon's curse sealed its fate. Inna, seeing you reminds me of when I was young. Oh, I was your age back then, before I drank the egg essence. Naive, smart, and way too cocky. Sounds familiar? Turns out, my cockiness is why I couldn't handle the fact that all my so-called achievements were based on something so horrid. I never knew this. However, I know that if you knew the truth, you'd be as resolute as I am. The Ironheart Dominion should be destroyed. Perhaps you still need a little more time. Hyla, why don't you take her and her friends back to the village to rest? Clearly devastated, Inna follows Hyla out of the lab in silence, her usual defiance replaced by uncharacteristic obedience. Zanie, on the other hand, looks at the lab and lets out a heavy sigh. Perhaps now I can tell you why I'm here. That young lady was so noisy that I almost forgot to tell you. We were going through the various historical documents at the Temple of Helter, and we found what looks like a series of plans. Everything is encrypted in ancient Dwarven runes. We couldn't read it. I brought the most complete copy for Zanie to examine. Encrypted documents? Bring them to me now. Zanie takes the documents from Indris's hands, and her eyes widen the moment she reads the title. She flips through the pages with such intensity it nearly tears them apart. Her expression shifts with every page, shock etched deeply into her face. Helter's beard, I can't believe this. What does it say? Things I never even realized, the things that I was wrong about. There's also information that could save Brimstone Village. My sister, let's go back to Brimstone Village. I have to tell them what I found here. And Indris, please run an errand for me. I need you to go to where the dragon eggs are being mined. There should be a kind of ore that doesn't really look like the others, and it has several different characteristics. Oh, forget it. I'll just write it down for you. As soon as you find it, contact me on the communicator. This is very important and very urgent. Understood. Leave it to me. Once Zanie has written everything down and hands her notes to Indris, she hurries off, rushing back to Brimstone Village with urgency. Strange. I wonder what Zanie is looking for in such a hurry. The villagers look listless. Let's find Hyla first. She should be at the workshop with Ina. What are you doing here? So, what do you want with me? Are you going to keep attacking me and my beliefs? Zanie has something to show you. Don't tell me it's another boring piece of relic. Whatever, I'll take a look. You should be able to understand the beginning of the document. Read it for yourself. Alright, hand it here. Helter's Brimstone Workshop, 8th batch of the 14th production cycle. Full accurate manufacturing of the battle longbow. Person up here for. What is this? Look at the writing at the bottom. Person number cannot be shared with external stakeholders. Temporary code name Eclipsion. Ina stares at Zanie in disbelief, while Zanie calmly flips to another page of the documents. You ask what this is. You and Hyla should be very familiar with it. Helter, our god, was the master designer who made this weapon. Brimstone Workshop was his primary production plant. It was also the heart of operations, where Helter's supervisor managed all production and design. A specific year isn't mentioned, but the 8th batch of the 14th production cycle refers to the manufacturing of special creations under that year's production directives. Version EP04 represents the 4th iteration of what was designed and crafted. During weapon iteration, the most representative version is selected from the best models and then modified for improvement. So, the Eclipsion was simply a template used to determine the next iteration from numerous batches? Exactly. What this naming process proves is that the Ironheart Dominion you're so obsessed with, Ina, was not an ancient land of perfection and tradition. Right before the Dominion fell apart, the generalist engineers were already on their way out. They saw the writing on the wall. During the age of ancient gods and empires, dwarves were already exploring the division of labor, specialization, and the creation of standardized production process. they developed methods to mass-produce these artifacts. Even divine power and magic were controlled through machinery. The dwarves were carving their own path. But what's the difference between this and our current manufacturing and production lines? Precisely, there is no difference. We've actually been walking on the same broken path. No, this path was never broken. It was always the same. All the gods has betrayed us, our empire gone, but sin will eventually be washed away by time. In the face of any harsh environment, we dwarves persevere, driven by an unyielding spirit of innovation, and yes, a touch of arrogance. Over the centuries, this path was never broken. It was passed on to us. But what is the purpose of this spirit of innovation? What does it truly serve? Zanie doesn't answer directly. Instead, she pulls out a weapon she had crafted specifically for the dragon and hands it to Ina. Ina gives her a puzzled look, but is quickly drawn to the intriguing structure of the weapon. After a moment, she looks up, her curiosity piqued. If I'm not mistaken, the later utilizes magic infusion, which allows for faster, more precise, and more powerful effects compared to standard mechanical firing. So why not add the same structure to this section? Honestly, when I first designed it, I wasn't sure if I'd find a mage who'd be willing to pump magic into it the way I wanted. Take a closer look, and you'll see that the trigger conditions for magic are extremely strict. Take a closer look, and you'll see that the trigger conditions for the magic are extremely strict. The magic has to be crazy precise with your magic in order for it to work. However, I wasn't wrong. You have a keen sense of touch. So Ina, want to team up and explore the practical uses of new materials? We can figure out what they're good for together. New materials? But there's no more egg, right? As if responding to her words, the communicator lights up and Indris's voice comes through clearly. I found it, Zanie. It was exactly where you said it was. Deep in the mines, where the dragon's magic is the strongest. There is plenty there. There's plenty here. Mountains of blue ore. Some are translucent, while others have a shiny metallic look. Blue ore? You mean celestite? Wait, isn't that a specialty of Brimstone Village? Indeed. There are mines everywhere, but why is the ore in a different form here? Yes, well, in the days of the Dominion, Halter's Brimstone workshop was located right here in our Yes, well, in the days of the Dominion, Halter's Brimstone workshop was located right here in our Brimstone village. I read about this in a few historical records. The metal crafted from celestite is lightweight, flexible, sharp, and as malleable as silk. Plus, you can pump all kinds of magic into it. It's called azure steel because of its striking blue color. However, Halter himself named it Brimstone Steel. Thus, the name Brimstone Workshop became well known. While I'm unsure how Eckwright got its name, Brimstone Steel was named for the work done and its place of origin. It was mentioned in the voice message that dragon magic was strong at the location and that celestite was there as well. In other words, Brimstone Steel cannot form naturally. It may require magic to be infused into it. Yep, that's what it says. It's not really an update about the Eclipsion. More like a test plant for brimstone steel specific parts. All the ore in Brimstone Village is naturally capable of enchantment. All we need is a large amount of magic, and then forged in a special way. Back in the day, there were so many different properties of Brimstone Steel. The Dominion was an empire dominated by arcane steel. The existence of Azure Steel is proof of their ambition to forge their own Brimstone Steel. So the blue ore in the mines ended up like that because of the magic from the underground dragons. It's not wholly natural, it's their influence. If someone is willing to infuse it with magic and reforge it, it can take on different properties. It can take on different properties, right? I'd like to help. I'll go get a piece of celestite right away. Carla dashes out and comes back moments later, clutching a huge piece of celestite in her hand. With the infusion of magic, the dark translucent blue ore gradually solidifies in color. Over time, a metallic sheen develops, transforming its appearance entirely. Ah, it worked! Yes, this is the mysterious ore that can be forged into brimstone steel, something I've only seen a few times. It's beautiful, but how did we reproduce it with only one mage? Do we have enough ore? If I'm not wrong, if we choose to replace Echorite with this, the most important factor is the cost difference. You're sharp, Ina. According to this document, it takes dozens of dwarves to channel magic into the ore just to make a bit of brimstone steel. Remember what you said, Hyla? In this day and age, it's easier just to pay a mage for their services. I was just talking nonsense. We can't afford the number of mages that it needs to start production on this new type of steel. No, I think we can. Were you listening, Indris? Yes. Saltori now has a vast population of lowborn and commoners, most with some magical ability, no longer oppressed by tyrannical rule. Presumably, due to the influence of the dragon egg essence, the release of magic also seems to alleviate the signs of corruption within them. So, our next step is clear. We need to replicate the forging methods from that time to recreate Azure Steel. No, it doesn't have to be exactly like that. We've acquired different ores and metals from all over Esperia. We can keep experimenting and even make different alloys. Not only Azure Steel, but we can start producing all different types of arcane steel. Actually, we can just hand the forging methods over to the production team. It's way simpler than trying to cast the weapons ourselves. Let the experts handle it. Everything seems to be in full swing. Magister, I still need your help with something. Mind helping me write a letter to that general of yours? Let him know that Brimstone Village is about to crack a new, valuable technology and get its hands on resources that are one of a kind. It's going to be a big deal. Leave it to me. After so long, the village is bustling again. The clang of hammers and hum of machinery fill the sky. For thousands of years, the Ironheart Dominion's new innovative spirit has been... What the fuck am I saying? For thousands of years, the Ironheart Dominion's innovative spirit has been passed down. Now, that same spirit has driven the Dwarven race to develop this groundbreaking technology. It will soon illuminate the entirety of Speria once more. Alright, Ina. Once the production of brimstone steel has been confirmed, let's start working on the 5th version of the Eclipsion. Quest complete, the future. While investigating the Ironheart Saviors, you uncovered an ancient technique that once brought prosperity to Brimstone Village. It stands not only as a beacon of hope, but also as an everlasting legacy. That was a pretty nice quest, I think, even though I had some trouble with some of the lines. It's pretty interesting. The Union Signer. Yeah, so by now I've done most of the quest that seems the most interesting, but it's possible these other ones are interesting as well, but that will have to be seen later.